The average American family spends $1,200 on a washing machine that lasts just 5 to 7 years. Meanwhile, Amish families spend less than $300 total on laundry equipment that lasts decades, and their clothes come out cleaner. What's their secret? 9 generations of wisdom that modern companies don't want you to know about. Ever looked at your electricity bill and wondered if there's a better way? Well, the Amish have been quietly mastering the art of efficient laundry for generations, and their methods are not just about tradition, they're about smart, sustainable living that's surprisingly relevant in today's cost-conscious world. Let's talk about the workhorse of Amish laundry, the hand-powered wringer washer. Back in 1892, when the first model rolled into Amish communities, it wasn't just another gadget. It was a revolution in clean clothes. Unlike today's washing machines that come with enough buttons to launch a space shuttle and sometimes cost nearly as much, these mechanical marvels changed the game through pure ingenuity and muscle power. Picture this. While your neighbor's fancy $1,200 washing machine beeps and boops its way through cycles, eventually breaking down after 5 to 7 years, a well-maintained wringer washer quietly soldiers on for 20-plus years, all for about $200 up front. That's like paying $10 a year for your washing machine. Try finding that deal at your local appliance store. The beauty of a wringer washer lies in its brilliant simplicity. Think of it as a large tub with an agitator that you power by hand, coupled with 2 rollers that squeeze water out of clothes, like your grandmother squeezing the last penny out of her budget. And speaking of grandmothers, they'll tell you these machines were built to last. In fact, many families still use wringer washers that their grandparents bought decades ago. Here's where it gets interesting. Using a wringer washer is like joining a gym where you actually get something clean besides yourself. The process starts with filling the tub with hot water and detergent. Now, this isn't your modern throw in the whole hamper and press start operation. You'll need to be strategic about load sizes, which actually helps your clothes last longer. Who knew? The washing action is where the magic happens. As you crank the agitator, you're not just cleaning clothes, you're getting an unexpected upper body workout. After about 10 minutes or longer for particularly dirty items, it's time for the wringer part. This is where newcomers learn valuable life lessons, like always check pockets unless you enjoy washing pre-flattened candy wrappers, and belts and buttons are the natural enemies of wringer rollers. One of the most fascinating aspects of wringer washers is their maintenance, or rather, the lack of it. These machines are like the Nokia phones of the laundry world, nearly indestructible with basic care. While modern washing machines need professional technicians with computer diagnostics, wringer washers just need occasional oiling and a good cleaning after use. No circuit boards to short out, no delicate sensors to fail, and definitely no repairman charging you $200 just to tell you it's cheaper to buy a new machine. Here's a mind-blowing fact. Studies show that clothes washed in wringer washers often last 25 to 30% longer than those cleaned in modern machines. Why? Because there's no aggressive spinning or harsh agitation. Your clothes are cleaned thoroughly but gently, like they're getting a firm handshake instead of being put in a wrestling match. But wait, the real superstar of Amish laundry technology is the famous James washer. If the wringer washer is like a reliable old pickup truck, the James washer is the trusty horse that never lets you down. This ingenious device uses a unique plunger-like action that's so quiet you can have a normal conversation while washing. Try that with your modern front loader that sounds like it's preparing for takeoff. The James washer's design is a testament to effective simplicity. It saves families around $400 annually compared to electric machines, not counting repair costs. Those savings add up faster than a teenager's text messages. The key is choosing the right size for your family. They come in different capacities, from just me and my spouse to blessed with enough children to field a baseball team. They're so durable that they're often passed down through generations, becoming family heirlooms, probably the only time you'll hear heirloom and washing machine in the same sentence. Let's talk maintenance tips for the James washer, because believe it or not, they're even simpler than the wringer washer. Keep it clean, oil the moving parts occasionally, and that's about it. These machines are so straightforward that most repairs can be done with basic tools and a bit of common sense. No need for a PhD in mechanical engineering or a direct line to customer service in another country. Amish families report their James washers lasting 30-plus years with proper care. That's longer than some marriages. The secret lies in its simple mechanism, a design so efficient that it hasn't needed significant changes since its invention. In a world where everything seems to need an upgrade every other year, there's something refreshingly honest about a machine that just works, year after year, without fuss or fanfare. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about these traditional methods isn't just their cost-effectiveness or longevity. It's how they naturally create a more mindful approach to laundry. When you're physically involved in the washing process, you become more aware of water usage, detergent amounts, and clothing care. It's like the difference between mindlessly scrolling through your phone and having a real conversation. Both get the job done, but one leaves you more connected to the process. And speaking of being connected to the process, this mindful approach to laundry naturally leads to the next step in the Amish laundry revolution. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. We decided to promote his book because we are the last generation able to share these techniques and superfoods to our children or grandchildren. It would be a shame to see this information about highly nutritious foods and preservation methods to survive crises disappear. You can also find a book about herbal remedies from Nicole Apelian on their store. If you're watching this on TV, you can look up our channel, Frugal Solutions, on your phone or tablet and find the books by clicking the link in our channel description or any other video description. Making your own soap. After all, when you're already saving money on the washing process, why stop there? Those store-bought products with their fancy packaging and mysterious ingredients start looking pretty unnecessary once you discover the simple magic of homemade cleaning solutions. You know that feeling when you buy laundry soap and it costs more than your dinner. Amish families just chuckle at that. Their secret? Making their own soap, a tradition that saves them about $300 yearly per household. And no, we're not talking about that fancy artisanal stuff you see at craft fairs for $12 a bar. The art of soap making in Amish communities is like a family recipe, passed down through generations, tweaked for perfection, and surprisingly simple once you know the basics. Think of it as cooking, but instead of a meal, you're whipping up something that'll keep your clothes clean for months. Let's break down the science. Don't worry, no chemistry degree required. At its heart, soap is just three things: lye, fats, and patience. The lye does the heavy lifting. The fats make it gentle on your clothes, and patience, well, that's because good soap is like a good marriage. It takes time to get it right. My first batch of soap looked like scrambled eggs, laughs Sarah, an Amish grandmother who's been making soap for 40 years. But even that weird-looking batch cleaned better than store-bought. Speaking of mistakes, here's a tip learned the hard way. Always add lye to water, never water to lye. Unless you enjoy cleaning up what looks like a science experiment gone wrong. The basic recipe is simple enough. Lye, sodium hydroxide, animal fats or vegetable oils, water, and essential oils for scent are optional. But here's where it gets interesting. While commercial soaps often strip natural oils from fabrics, making them wear out faster than a teenager's patience, Amish-made soap actually helps preserve them. The secret lies in the superfatting process, leaving a small amount of fat unsaponified. It's like giving your clothes a tiny protective hug every time you wash them. Environmental benefits, they're huge. One batch of homemade soap typically replaces about 20 plastic detergent bottles. That's like saving a small penguin habitat all by yourself. Plus, since everything breaks down naturally, you won't find any mysterious blue chemicals floating downstream from an Amish laundry day. Now, here's something most people don't know. Soap making can actually become a nice side hustle. Many Amish families sell their extra soap at local markets, turning a household necessity into a profitable venture. As one Amish woman puts it, if you're going to make soap anyway, might as well make enough to help pay for little Emma's new winter boots. Safety first, though, because nobody wants their soap-making story to end up in the emergency room. Lye is serious business. It's not like adding too much salt to your soup. Always wear gloves, keep vinegar nearby, it neutralizes lye, and for heaven's sake, don't get distracted by social media while measuring ingredients, though that last part isn't usually an Amish problem. Common mistakes? Well, there was the time someone used an aluminum pot instead of stainless steel. Let's just say the pot didn't survive to tell the tale. Or the infamous, I'll just eyeball the measurements incident that produced soap so strong it could probably clean barnacles off a ship's hull. Measuring matters, folks. The best part about making your own soap isn't just the money savings or environmental benefits, it's knowing exactly what's in it. No mysterious ingredients that sound like they belong in a spacecraft rather than your laundry. Just clean, simple components that have been keeping clothes fresh since before electricity was even a thing. And talk about timing. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks for soap to cure properly. An Amish grandfather jokes, it's like watching paint dry, except at the end, you get something useful. During this time, the soap hardens and becomes milder, perfect for everything from delicate baby clothes to heavy work shirts. But even the best soap needs one more thing to be truly effective: smart water usage. After all, what good is perfect soap if you're using too much water or not using it efficiently? Which brings us to our next topic: how Amish families master the art of water conservation while still keeping everything spotlessly clean. Would you believe that the average American household uses 30 gallons of water for a single load of laundry? Meanwhile, Amish families typically use less than 12 gallons, and their clothes come out just as clean. Their secret isn't magic, it's methodical water management that would make a desert cactus jealous. Let's start with gray water systems, which sounds fancy but is really just smart water recycling. Imagine your washing water having 3 lives instead of 1. That's the Amish approach. The first wash water becomes the second load's rinse water, which then waters the garden. It's like getting 3 loads of usefulness from 1 bucket of water. Water is like money, says an Amish elder with a twinkle in his eye. If you waste either one, you'll end up with empty buckets and empty pockets. This wisdom has led to some incredibly creative water-saving techniques. For instance, many Amish families position their laundry area to take advantage of natural water flow from their property's elevation changes. Gravity is free, after all. Rain collection is another cornerstone of Amish water conservation. A single inch of rain on a 1,000 square foot roof can yield 600 gallons of water. That's enough for 50 loads of Amish-style laundry. They use everything from simple rain barrels to elaborate collection systems that would make a civil engineer nod in approval. One particularly clever setup uses gutters with removable filters, keeping leaves out but letting precious raindrops in. Here's a mind-blowing fact. Amish communities often reduce their water consumption by 60% compared to typical American households just through their laundry practices. That's like saving enough water to fill a small swimming pool every month. And no, their clothes don't suffer for it. If anything, they last longer because they're not being overwashed or over-rinsed. The Amish have also mastered the art of water reuse timing. Morning wash water, slightly warmed by the sun, becomes afternoon plant water. They call it working with nature's schedule, though one Amish woman jokes that it's really about being too practical to let good water go to waste. Fun fact, plants actually love laundry water because of the tiny bit of soap. It helps the soil absorb water better. Creative water reuse ideas pop up all over Amish communities. One family rigged a simple filtration system using sand, charcoal, and gravel, turning their laundry water into crystal clear garden water. Another created a seasonal rotation system based on what they're growing. Heavier soiled water goes to hardy plants like tomatoes, while gentler rinse water nurtures more delicate lettuce and herbs. But perhaps the most impressive aspect is how they've turned water conservation into a community effort. Laundry schedules are often coordinated between households to maximize water usage. It's like a carefully choreographed water ballet, except instead of tutus, everyone's wearing aprons and sharing water-saving tips. Temperature management plays a huge role too. Cold water is used whenever possible, hot water is precious and used strategically, and lukewarm water, their favorite, is often achieved naturally by letting water sit in dark-colored containers in the sun. One elder quips, "Why pay to heat water when the sun does it for free?" The results speak for themselves. A typical Amish family of 6 uses about the same amount of water for laundry in a month as a modern family of 4 uses in a week. And yes, everyone's clothes are clean, proving that sometimes less really is more. But what good is all this water conservation if you're not using your time wisely? After all, laundry day needs to be more than just efficient with water. It needs to fit into a busy schedule of work, family, and community life, which is exactly why the Amish mastered the art of time management while keeping everything running smoothly. Remember when doing laundry meant tossing clothes in a machine and forgetting about them until they smelled like mildew? The Amish have a different approach, and surprisingly, it actually saves time despite being more hands-on. Their secret? Treating laundry day like a well-orchestrated symphony rather than a last-minute scramble. Most Amish families tackle laundry once a week, usually on Mondays. Why Monday? As one Amish grandmother explains with a chuckle, start your week with clean clothes and everything else feels manageable. Plus, if something goes wrong, you still have 6 days to fix it. This schedule isn't just tradition, it's strategic planning at its finest. The weekly laundry routine typically starts at sunrise, but don't worry. There's a method to this early bird madness. Starting early means taking advantage of the entire day's sunlight for drying. And in Amish households, everyone has a role to play. It's like a well-oiled machine, except the oil is teamwork and the machine is family cooperation. Here's where it gets interesting. Amish families have turned laundry into a social event. While modern folks might scroll through social media while waiting for the dryer, Amish communities use this time for catching up, sharing news, and even matchmaking. More marriages have started over the washing tub than at church socials, jokes one Amish mother. At least you know they can clean their own clothes. The sun-up to sundown efficiency method isn't just about working all day, it's about working smart. Clothes are sorted the night before, water's collected and ready, and every family member knows their tasks. Young children might help sort socks, a universal puzzle regardless of culture, while older ones handle wringing or hanging clothes. Even the smallest helper has a job, even if it's just singing songs to keep everyone entertained. Want to hear something amazing? An Amish family of 8 can complete their weekly laundry in about the same time it takes the average modern family of 4 to do theirs. The difference? No distractions, no procrastination, and no waiting for machines to finish cycles. It's all hands on deck, making the work lighter and, believe it or not, more enjoyable. Teaching children responsibility through laundry chores isn't just about getting help, it's about passing down vital life skills. If you can handle laundry day, says an Amish father, you can handle anything life throws at you, except maybe teenagers, but that's a different kind of dirty laundry. Children learn patience, teamwork, and the satisfaction of a job well done, all while helping the family. The Amish approach to time management includes clever tricks that would make any efficiency expert proud. For example, they use the 2-bucket system, one for washing, one for rinsing, and rotate loads through them like a carefully choreographed dance. While one load soaks, another is being wrung out, and a third is already on the line drying. It's like playing chess with clean clothes. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect is how this system builds community. Neighboring families often coordinate their laundry days, sharing resources, and helping each other with larger loads. It's not uncommon to see several families' worth of clothes swaying in the breeze, creating a patchwork of colors that would make any artist jealous. It's like a neighborhood flag display, one Amish woman jokes, except these flags tell you who had spaghetti for dinner last week. The evening wrap-up is just as important as the morning start. Everything gets ready for the next day, from cleaning tools to preparing soap. This isn't just about being organized, it's about respecting time as a precious resource. As one elder puts it, time wasted is like water spilled. You can't gather it back up. And here's a fun fact that might surprise you. Despite not using modern appliances, Amish families spend an average of 15% less time on laundry over the course of a week compared to their English neighbors. How? Because when you're fully engaged in a task, without modern distractions, it gets done more efficiently. No stopping to check phones, no restarting wrinkled loads forgotten in the dryer, and no hunting for missing socks. Okay, that last one still happens. Some mysteries are universal. But what good is efficient time management if your clothes aren't drying properly? That's where the next crucial piece of the puzzle comes in, mastering the art of drying techniques that work in any weather, any season. Did you know that the average electric dryer uses more energy than a refrigerator, dishwasher, and washing machine combined? Meanwhile, Amish families have mastered the art of drying clothes using nothing but air, sun, and clever placement strategies. Let's explore how they achieve that fresh from nature clean smell that no dryer sheet can match. The secret to perfect line-dried clothes starts with strategic clothesline placement. Amish families don't just string up a line and hope for the best. They study their yard like meteorologists studying weather patterns. The ideal setup considers sun patterns, wind direction, and even the types of trees nearby. "You don't want your clean sheets under a bird's favorite branch?" laughs one Amish woman. "Unless you enjoy doing laundry twice." Most Amish homesteads feature multiple clotheslines arranged in a specific pattern. East-west lines catch the morning and afternoon sun, while north-south lines take advantage of prevailing winds. It's like creating a solar-powered, wind-driven drying system that costs nothing to operate. And here's a fascinating fact. Clothes dried in direct sunlight actually experience a natural sanitizing effect, as UV rays help kill bacteria and dust mites. The science behind that amazing sun-dried smell is equally interesting. When clothes dry in fresh air, they undergo a process called photolysis, where sunlight breaks down organic compounds that cause odors. That's why line-dried clothes smell better than anything from a dryer. One Amish grandfather jokes, "Nature's fabric softener is free, and it doesn't come in a purple bottle." Speaking of science, here's something remarkable. Sun-dried clothes can last up to 20% longer than machine-dried ones. The aggressive tumbling and high heat of dryers gradually wear down fabric fibers, while air drying is gentler. Think of it like the difference between getting a massage and being in a wrestling match. Both might get you moving, but one's definitely easier on your body. Seasonal adaptations are where Amish ingenuity really shines. In summer, they use the intense midday sun for heavy items like jeans and towels, while delicate clothes dry in the gentler morning or late afternoon light. Winter brings its own strategies. Frozen clothes actually undergo a process called sublimation, where ice crystals turn directly into vapor, leaving clothes surprisingly fresh and clean. "Nothing beats the sight of frozen jeans standing by themselves in the yard," one Amish father chuckles. "It's like having a family of blue scarecrows." Wind patterns play a crucial role in efficient drying. Amish families become experts at reading the wind, knowing exactly when to hang heavy items that need more airflow versus lighter pieces that might blow away. They've even developed clever tricks like hanging sheets in pairs to create air tunnels, speeding up drying time. As one Amish woman puts it, "The wind is like a helpful neighbor, sometimes too helpful when it comes to underwear." But what about those dreaded rainy days? That's where indoor drying techniques come into play. Many Amish homes feature retractable indoor lines in well-ventilated areas. Some families have perfected the art of using house heat in winter, strategically placing drying racks near, but not too near, wood stoves or in sunny windows. It's like creating a free clothes dryer powered by heat that's already being used to warm the house. Here's an incredible statistic. A family of 6 using traditional Amish drying methods saves approximately $600 per year in energy costs compared to using an electric dryer. That's enough to buy new clothes for the whole family. Plus, they're preventing about 2,400 pounds of carbon dioxide emissions annually, all while getting cleaner, fresher-smelling laundry. One particularly clever Amish innovation is the use of staged drying. Heavier items start on outer lines where they catch more wind, then move to protected areas as they lighten. Delicate items follow a reverse pattern, starting in protected areas and moving to breezy spots for final freshening. It's like a choreographed dance where every piece of laundry knows its steps. Protecting clothes from the elements requires some creative solutions. Quick-release knots allow entire lines to be taken down in seconds if rain threatens. Strategic placement of poles and props ensures proper airflow under and around items. One family even trained their dog to bark at approaching rain clouds, though they admit this method isn't exactly foolproof. The most remarkable aspect of Amish drying techniques isn't just their effectiveness, it's how they've turned a mundane task into an art form that connects them with nature. They read weather patterns, understand seasonal changes, and work with natural elements instead of against them. It's a reminder that sometimes the old ways aren't just more economical, they're actually better. But even with perfect drying techniques, laundry sometimes faces its greatest challenge: stains. No matter how well you hang your clothes, a grass stain or grape juice spill can ruin your best efforts. That's where we enter the fascinating world of Amish stain removal secrets. When an Amish grandmother looks at a stubborn stain, she doesn't reach for expensive chemical removers. Instead, she smiles and reaches for her arsenal of natural stain fighters that work better than anything you'll find in a bright plastic bottle. As one Amish woman says, "Nature made the stain, and nature knows how to take it out." Let's start with vinegar, the superhero of stain removal. This humble kitchen staple tackles everything from sweat marks to tomato sauce. The secret lies in its acetic acid content, which breaks down stains at a molecular level. Fun fact, Amish families typically keep at least 5 gallons of vinegar on hand just for laundry. One elderly Amish man jokes, "If vinegar can't fix it, it's not a stain. It's a new design feature." Baking soda works like magic on grease and oil spots. Just sprinkle it on, let it sit, while you tell the kids for the 100th time not to eat in their good clothes, and brush it off before washing. It's so effective that many Amish families buy it in 50-pound bags. "It's like having a powder that turns grease into dust," explains an Amish mother, "though I wish it worked the same way on muddy footprints on my clean floor." Lemon juice, nature's bleach, brightens whites without harsh chemicals. The natural citric acid gently lightens stains while deodorizing. Here's a mind-blowing fact. The citric acid in one lemon has the same whitening power as a quarter cup of commercial bleach, but without the risk of damaging fabrics. Plus, as one Amish grandmother points out, if you spill it on your apron, it just smells nice instead of burning holes. Then there's borax, the unsung hero of the Amish laundry room. This natural mineral compound tackles protein-based stains like blood, grass, and that mysterious something your toddler wiped on their shirt. It's so effective that one Amish community nicknames it the miracle dust. Statistics show that a single box of borax, costing about $5, can treat up to 30 loads of heavily stained laundry. The famous Amish soak and scrub method combines these natural powerhouses with good old-fashioned patience. They start by identifying the stain type, because as any experienced Amish launderer will tell you, treating a grease stain like a fruit stain is like trying to milk a chicken. It just won't work. Their stain removal process follows a specific order. Address the stain while it's fresh, if possible. Apply the appropriate natural treatment. Let it sit. This is where patience comes in. Gently work the treatment into the fabric and rinse thoroughly before washing. The biggest mistake people make, says one Amish woman, is rushing the process. A stain that took a second to make might need an hour to remove properly, but it's still faster than shopping for a replacement shirt. Here's something fascinating. Amish stain removal techniques have a 95% success rate, compared to 82% for commercial stain removers. The secret? They treat stains like puzzles to be solved rather than enemies to be attacked with chemicals. Each type of stain gets its own special treatment rather than using a one-size-fits-all approach. For really tough stains, they bring out the big guns. Sunlight. UV rays naturally bleach and disinfect, making them perfect for tackling stubborn spots. "Sometimes the best stain remover is right above our heads," chuckles an Amish father, though I suppose that's true of most things in life. But what happens when these tried-and-true methods meet seasonal challenges? After all, treating stains in summer sunshine is one thing, but what about during a winter freeze or spring rain? That's where we need to explore how the Amish adapt their cleaning techniques to work with, or sometimes against, Mother Nature's moods. Mother Nature might control the weather, but the Amish have mastered the art of working with whatever she throws their way. From scorching summers to freezing winters, each season brings its own set of laundry challenges and clever solutions that would make a meteorologist smile. When summer rolls around, Amish families practically celebrate. Why? Because summer is the laundry equivalent of hitting the jackpot. The intense sunlight acts as a natural bleaching agent, capable of whitening clothes better than any store-bought product. In fact, studies show that 4 hours of direct sunlight can brighten whites by up to 20% more effectively than chlorine bleach. "Summer is when your whites get whiter and your brights get brighter," says one Amish grandmother. "Though sometimes your kids get dirtier too." This is when optimal drying times become crucial. The sweet spot for drying? Between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., when UV rays are strongest. But watch out. Leaving colored clothes in direct sunlight too long can fade them faster than a teenager's interest in doing chores. Dealing with summer storms requires what the Amish call weather wisdom. They've developed an impressive sixth sense for approaching rain. When the leaves show their undersides, explains an Amish father, you've got about 20 minutes to grab the laundry. Many families have perfected the art of the emergency laundry rescue, turning it into something of a community sport. Heat-related fabric care becomes especially important during summer months. Natural fibers like cotton and linen love the heat, drying quickly and coming out softer. But synthetics, they need special attention. Treat polyester like a delicate flower in summer, advises an Amish mother. Too much sun and it'll be as wrinkled as my grandmother's apple doll. Humidity management might sound fancy, but it's really about timing and placement. Early morning washing allows clothes to dry just as humidity levels drop, while strategic placement in breezy spots helps prevent that dreaded muggy smell. One clever trick, hanging sheets as wind barriers to create microclimates for other clothes. It's like building little wind tunnels, laughs an Amish woman. The neighbors think we're crazy until they see how fast everything dries. Now, winter laundry might sound like a challenge, but the Amish have turned it into an art form. Indoor drying techniques become crucial, with many families creating elaborate pulley systems near their heating sources. Here's a fascinating fact. Clothes dried indoors during winter actually help humidify the air, making heated spaces more comfortable. Talk about multitasking. The freeze-drying phenomenon is perhaps winter's most interesting laundry secret. When clothes freeze solid on the line, and yes, they do hang laundry outside in winter, something magical happens. The ice crystals actually help break down dirt particles, and when the clothes thaw, they're exceptionally clean. Nothing beats the sight of frozen pants standing by themselves in the yard, chuckles an Amish father. It's like having a family of ice sculptures. Snow as a natural whitener might sound like an old wives' tale, but there's science behind it. Fresh snow contains trace amounts of hydrogen peroxide, created when sunlight hits frozen water molecules. Laying whites on fresh snow for a few hours can naturally brighten them. One Amish community calls this snow bleaching and swears it works better than any commercial whitener. Static electricity becomes a major concern in winter's dry air. The Amish solution: running a dampened hand over clothes before bringing them inside and keeping a spray bottle of water handy. Static electricity is like having tiny lightning bolts in your laundry, jokes an Amish mother. Except instead of thunder, you get your kids sticking to their clothes. Temperature-controlled drying zones transform Amish homes into strategic laundry operations during winter months. Different areas serve different purposes: warm spots near stoves for heavy items, cooler areas for delicates, and medium warmth zones for everything else. It's like having a three-dimensional drying system that uses no electricity. What makes Amish laundry methods so effective isn't just their seasonal strategies. It's their ability to adapt these methods throughout the year. They've learned that each month brings its own challenges and opportunities. Spring might mean dealing with mud and rain, while fall brings its own set of challenges with falling leaves and early frosts. Did you know that Amish families typically adjust their laundry schedule 8 to 12 times per year based on seasonal changes? This attention to detail results in clothes that last 40% longer than those cleaned using modern methods year-round. As one Amish elder puts it, the weather might change, but clean clothes never go out of style. But even with perfect seasonal timing and techniques, some garments need extra attention. Work clothes, delicate items, and special fabrics each require their own specific care methods. Which brings us to our next topic: how the Amish handle different types of clothing with specialized care instructions. When it comes to clothing care, Amish families face a unique challenge: keeping everything from heavy work clothes to delicate handmade quilts in perfect condition without modern cleaning methods. The secret? Specialized techniques passed down through generations, each tailored to specific types of garments. Let's tackle work clothes first, those hard-working pieces that face everything from barn dust to garden soil. Treating tough stains naturally becomes an art form in Amish communities. One particularly effective method involves creating a paste from cornmeal and vinegar which draws out oil-based stains better than any commercial product. Farm grease is stubborn, jokes an Amish father, but so are we. Pre-treatment methods for work clothes follow a strict routine that's almost scientific in its precision. Heavy soiling gets a 24-hour soak in a mixture of borax, washing soda, and natural soap. Here's an impressive statistic. This method removes 95% of tough stains, compared to 78% with standard pre-treatment products. The secret, whispers one Amish grandmother, is forgetting about it for exactly 1 day. Not longer, not shorter. The famous Amish pre-soak formula deserves special mention. This closely guarded recipe combines natural ingredients in specific proportions, creating a solution that tackles everything from axle grease to berry stains. The exact measurements vary by family, but the basic mixture includes rainwater. Yes, it matters. Natural soap shavings, a pinch of borax, a dash of vinegar, and what one Amish woman calls the patience of Job. Work clothes treated with these methods last an average of 40% longer than those cleaned with modern detergents. We can't afford to buy new clothes every season, explains an Amish mother, but with proper care, we don't need to. This longevity stems from gentler cleaning methods that don't break down fabric fibers like harsh chemicals do. For emergency stains, those heart-stopping moments when something spills right before an important event, Amish families have developed quick-fix solutions that would make a professional cleaner jealous. One popular trick involves using fresh grass to rub out grass stains, fighting nature with nature, as they say. Sometimes the best solution is right under your feet, chuckles an Amish father, though explaining why you're rubbing grass on clean clothes can be interesting. Moving on to delicate items, the approach changes completely. Gentle washing techniques for fine fabrics involve using rainwater, softer than well water, and specialized homemade soaps. Temperature control becomes crucial. One Amish woman jokes that she can tell water temperature by touch more accurately than any thermometer. Natural fabric softeners made from herbs and vinegar keep delicate items feeling fresh without chemical residues. A popular mixture includes apple cider vinegar base, dried lavender, a hint of rosemary, and filtered water. The care of handmade quilts becomes almost a ritual in Amish households. These precious pieces, often containing thousands of tiny stitches and hundreds of hours of work, require special attention. The washing process follows a strict protocol that changes with the seasons. Summer allows for gentle outdoor washing in filtered sunlight, while winter calls for careful indoor cleaning using specific techniques to prevent fabric stress. Temperature considerations for different fabrics rival a meteorologist's attention to weather patterns. Cotton, wool, and synthetic blends each require different handling. Every fabric has its own personality, explains an Amish quilter. Treat wool like a cat. It needs gentle persuasion and doesn't like surprises. Cotton is more like a dog, friendly and forgiving, but still needs consistent care. Storage solutions between washes play a crucial role too. Clean quilts and delicates get wrapped in unbleached muslin with dried herbs for freshness. Some families maintain special cedar chests just for their finest pieces. A well-stored quilt, says one Amish grandmother, is like a well-kept secret, better with time. Who would have thought that laundry could teach us so much? From a $200 wringer washer that outlasts 5 modern machines to simple stain-fighting ingredients found in most kitchens, the Amish way of doing laundry reveals something deeper than just getting clothes clean. These methods remind us that sometimes the best solutions aren't found in fancy packaging or expensive appliances. They show us that what we often call old-fashioned might actually be forward-thinking. Think about it. Natural cleaning products, water conservation, zero electricity usage, and clothes that last longer. Sounds a lot like what environmentalists are advocating for today, doesn't it? One Amish woman summed it up perfectly. Clean clothes are like a good life. They don't need to be complicated to be beautiful. They just need care, attention, and a little bit of sunshine. And really, isn't that what we're all looking for?